gentlemen, I'm sat here and I'm wearing my big shirt. We've got all kinds of shit to talk about. You feeling snappy? No? Good. Let's go.
You want to try
The mic's muted. I know I did it before the intro because people are responding to me, so I know that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the web show. We're back in the country. Team Berlin, mate. Where's your shirt?
It's in the wash, mate.
Mate. Diamond Dogs? Kind of shit-ass game is that?
Do you want to go?
Do
you want to go?
Hey, I've got Metal Gear Summer coming up.
I will wreck the...
I've got Metal Gear Summer coming up.
No way.
I've got Metal Gear Summer coming up, man.
I'm literally wearing jogging pants. I'll pitch a tent if you play Metal Gear.
I'm going to do all of them. Boom, 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 boom. 5?
Shit.
5, right? I'm not doing all the extra ones. Fuck that. I'm not doing like the Vita one.
Peace Walker.
I'm going to do 1, 2, wait for it, 3, 4, and then 5.
So you're doing it like...
And I'm terrible. I know I'm terrible at it. I will rely on the Twitch chat. Dangerous, I know. Dangerous, but we're going for it. That's what I'm going to do. What if you hate them all? Then I will stop playing them.
No, you won't.
I will. If they're horrible. Oh, I've done Revengeance. We streamed Revengeance. It's too good. Revengeance is my jam.
Rules of Nature, mate.
I can't believe you never even knew that song properly until we included it into the legacies.
That's like a 2-minute 30 song. And when I text you on that day that it said, I've literally had this song on all day in work, I wasn't exaggerating.
It's a well good song.
It's a really good song.
It's the first song of the first boss fight. It's fucking
It's like,
good.
I sit there with my headphones on when someone wants my attention, because it amps you up. It's like, can I have a word about this, Jerry? What?
Get so angry.
Yeah.
So furious. I fucking love it. I absolutely love Revengeance. I played it through like 3 times now. In fact, on the stream, I got to a weird point on the last boss, Nano Machine's son, where I had no healing packs left. And people might remember that stream. It took me like an hour and a half to kill that guy because I wasn't allowed to like get hurt at all in order to defeat it, which was pretty cool. And we've also got Iggle Piggles with us.
Why?
He's the destroyer of worlds. Rape face. Rape face. Yeah?
I can see it.
Nothing
You've got him
rape.
mounting your little dragon.
Rape face. Iggle Piggle is the destroyer of worlds. Our Lord and Saviour. The amount of memes we've spawned of Iggle Piggle has been the dream come true for me. The absolute dream come true for you. For me and you.
The abomination burn.
The abomination. He's so good. He's so... I just did a drama show where I said, imagine if Iggle Piggle was in a dark alley coming to rape you. How would that feel?
Probably tender.
Probably tender as the night and twice as sexy.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Nice.
So, as we get into it, I have all kinds of stuff to talk about. We've had Mr. Soda pop in, demonstrate that we can level from 0 to 100 in 5 hours, which was pretty impressive. So, got that to talk about. We've also got all the Legion Endgame stuff, which I finally got my dick into a little bit. Went in with the premeditation I imagine most of us had. Once we saw the announcement, is this Tanan 2.0? Is that what they've come up with? So we've got that to talk about. And also, hopefully I can show you some. I've kind of pre-set up something so we can take a look at it. Hopefully that's going to work all right. But we'll do that towards the end, so it's not spoilerific. But first of all, we were in Germany this weekend. I literally calculated that we were out of the house, out of our homes for about 30 hours. And that was it. And my wife acted as if I'd been gone or dead for a year.
I slept through a third of it.
You slept through a third of it. Let's tell some stories.
No.
Let's tell some stories.
Let's tell Stark stories.
Let's tell Stark stories and some stories about Mr. Ghost and the most unprofessional event both of us have ever taken part in, which turned out actually to be quite cool. Didn't it, friend? Let's start first of all. Let me entice you. Can I go to the big screen? I'm trying. If I can. This is something I didn't sell because I actually asked my mods just before we started the stream to... There we go. To send me the pictures, which they did, which is fantastic. So we've got a few...
Excuse me?
What?
I sent you a load of pictures.
You sent me a load of pictures, as did the mods.
Thank me.
Okay, so first of all, it's 4 a.m. We're kicking off. We're flying out. Deal?
Deal.
Early doors. In the cab, met a cabbie. Nice guy. Had a bit of a bants with him, mate.
We did have a bit of a bants.
We had a bit of a bants with the cab driver on the way there. And then, we got Berlin drama for you. No questions asked. So, straight to the airport, on the plane, crispy flight. It was amazing. First of all, it's obviously 3 seats wide plane. 2 of us, that means we have the third spot, could be a cunt. Could be a cunt. What approaches though was a lovely slender woman who appeared to be cleansed below the waist. On inspection, she was.
Fresh.
Very fresh indeed. And took a seat next to us and went to sleep. My kind of gal. Yeah. My kind of gal as we cracked on with our stuff. And the flight was supposed to be an hour and 40. An hour 5?
It was supposed to be an hour 55 going
An hour 55?
And it was an hour 40.
No. We were an hour 10 max.
Really?
Yeah, we were an hour 10 max. Something like that. An hour 10 max. On our little journey. We'll stick with this one for now.
Okay.
So we got down, and then 3 of the team, which would have been Team Duracell, Team Vanish, Team Augurs. This is the team. There's Vanish, if you don't know who that is. That is Vanish there, part of Ghosty's face. Team Augurs, the mods, and Team Duracell met us at the airport, because we didn't know what the fuck we were doing, and discovered that A, Berlin smells. Sorry.
Oh my god.
Berlin is, or at least the areas we traversed in Berlin, were not pretty. At all. Really saddened, actually, to get such a bad impression of Berlin. It didn't work out well. Graffiti hype.
Yeah.
That would never stand in the UK whatsoever. Yeah. But there you go. One of those things. Apparently it's part of the image and the culture. Graffiti hype. And so then they introduced us to the really interesting train system that is Berlin. Which is apparently you must take many trains underground and overground in order to be going anywhere in Berlin.
In fairness to that, the trains were like literally every 5 minutes.
Oh, there was a lot of trains.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of trains. And apparently you have to take them everywhere to go anywhere. So we used the machine and got Utakata, or whatever the fucking ticket was called. Dived on the train. 3 trains later, touched down in Berlin. And then we witnessed a sight which, friends, only some of you may ever behold or witness. And that is the Vanish Walk. Let me describe to you the Vanish Walk.
5 minutes.
The Vanish Walk takes 5 minutes from any location to any other location. It doesn't matter how far apart it is. The Vanish Walk appears visually like RoboCop doing a little bit of a ballerina dance.
No, mate, I've got a thing about this.
Oh, you got a thing?
Because I was like in my drunken stupor and hungover stupor, just to clarify that it wasn't just the drunken stupor talking, is... Now, Vanish will take the lead in a walk, which is fine. He knows where he's going. He wants to be probably
Vanish does know everywhere in
Vanish
Germany.
walks with a very big swing of the arms.
Oh, it's a
wait for it. The faster he walks, the more horizontal these arms go. I'm not even joking.
As if slicing through the air, raises the wings.
If you ever go now to an event with Vanish, just let him lead.
Just
because
let him lead the
you'll
way.
get a gauge of how fast he's walking by the parallel signalling of his arms.
Kinetic arm movement. It was insane to watch this guy move. It was swift and gorgeous all at the same time. It was like watching poetry in action on legs. But it started to get really too fast for me and him, who just arrived in Berlin. We're kind of taking in the not-so-pretty sights. I was having a look around. Where's Vanish? He's fucking turbo-nerding. He's turbo-nerding to our hotel. Because we had a plan. One, we've been to these events before now, kind of getting experienced with it. What we didn't want to do is go meet everybody, then come out and go and get cleaned up, and then go out again. Didn't really want to do that. So what we said is, we'll go to our hotel, scrub up, because we've been travelling since 4 a.m. Spritz. Yeah, bit of a spritz, and then we'll go meet everybody. We could be there all day. But this Vanish Walk took me completely by surprise. I was off guard. I wasn't ready for it.
It was good.
I'd never seen anything quite like it. Both gorgeous and crazy all at the same time. So what did I spot after about 4 minutes of the walk? See what I did there? Yeah. After about 4 minutes of the walk, I spots a bar.
A delightful Keller type.
A bar. I spotted a bar. Oh, we'll get to that. I spotted a bar, and then thought, let's have a beer. We've been in Berlin for at least 40 minutes. Let's have a beer. Called a slow-mo to the Vanish, which actually involved a shout. He was that far ahead. So come back and let's grab a beer, which we entered this place and ordered these beers, which had classic Berlin wenches, serving maidens.
Lederhosen.
With pigtails and the outfits, and the men were covered from head to toe in leather lederhosen.
Indeed.
It was delicious. It was absolutely delicious.
It was.
It was crispy to
it was,
max.
Oh, it was terrific.
And they gave us these big beers, and then we were introduced into currywurst, which is a big joke.
I loved it.
It's literally something you buy from the chippy for £1.50.
It's not. No, mate.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Curry sauce.
It's not. It's the sausage that makes it key and the sweet curry that goes with it. The sweet curry you can get dime a dozen. Those sausages were legit. Sorry, but they were. You can go to a supermarket or even a butcher's and get a bratwurst, and it will taste nothing like what that sausage did. It was beautiful.
It was sausage and
It was
curry
beautiful.
sauce. It was sausage and curry sauce. Currywurst is life.
That's what I'm talking
It's
about.
not. Look at the Germans getting all upset. No, it's not.
Beautiful.
No, it's not. Well, they were wearing lederhosen.
They were.
They were crystal. It was a great bar. Actually, to our right was a huge French group of people. And there was only 6 of us at this point, as we showed you in the first picture. We were just getting a few beers on. Basically, we just had a pit stop. Little did we know, we'd actually reached the hotel. It was the building next to the bar, but I didn't know that. So I called a halt to the proceedings.
Yeah.
But it turned out we had actually reached the hotel, and then Vanished informed us that, yeah, you're literally next door, which was a win. Now, we had a plan, because we were there only for Saturdays, that at 2 p.m. we would have a gathering of people who were not part of the Starkfest.
Right, yeah.
And what had actually happened, which was really cool, is that people who had tweeted to say we're going to be in Berlin, can we come along, actually did come along and got to stay with the Start Boys. They were all introduced. And by the time it hit 2 p.m., you got to remember, this is early in the morning, we were really drunk. Really quite drunk. Because this man here texted all the other members of the Stark team, to which there were many. If I can flick to a picture, that's some nudity. Wait. That amount of people to say that we were in this bar and maybe you should stop by. And I probably involved the text along the lines of, Mike's already drunk and so's Andy. You should probably come down here. We've held up in a bar for quite a while. And therefore the team came down and all day we spent pretty much drinking in there. So at 2 p.m., or at 10 to 2, I was like, we need to get to this place because there are people meeting us there. And they're going to tweet, and they were tweeting saying, are you in the lobby? We were going to meet in a hotel. The Radisson Blue, we were going to meet in the lobby, which turned out to be shenanigans because of a fish tank situation. But we were going to meet in the Radisson Blue. I was drunk, Andy was pretty drunk, and we had to get to this place. And a lot of people was trying to convince us not to go because everybody who was going to be there was already here. And I said, no. And then people did start to tweet, are you in the lobby? Hey, where are you? So we couldn't find it because we were 2 drunk Englishmen in Berlin trying to find a hotel and Google Maps wasn't working and we were fucked. We were fucked completely. This is when this happened, ladies and gents. I'm walking down the road. I've got my phone and Google Maps. And suddenly a feeling I have never felt in my life comes across. Let me demonstrate. This happened. It's Mr. Ghosty clenching my arm and then whispers tenderly, tender as the night into my ear, hold me. Hold me. Is it true?
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. And I went, as a bro would, don't worry about it, mate, I got this, and kept him solid as we were still trying to find this hotel. So now we look like 2 old ladies trying to find this place in Berlin. Turned out we were going completely the wrong way. So dived in a taxi and said, right, we'll get there. And it was like that. Just put your game face on. Because we're about to meet people. It might be kids or anything like that. We'll find out what's going on in a minute. I said, take us to the Radisson Blue. Turned out we were only 2 minutes away. Pulled up outside, enters the lobby, and there were the people. I sit down, grab a chair, sit down, and get everybody around us to sit down. And then I noticed that somebody's disappeared. I was on my own, team. I was on my own. But I had sobered up by this point. I wasn't that drunk. So I managed to, game face it by inhaling all the oxygen in Berlin. And I sat down with some people. And there's some funny stories about that. We met a couple who had literally just got together. And she had never heard of us, although she played a rogue. And never heard of me. But then was like, definitely going to follow you now, mate. And I was like, you know it, mate. And then it turned out that her boyfriend, middle name was Olaf. To which I started taking the piss out of him continuously because it turned out he didn't like to be called Olaf. So that is all I called him. And his missus thought that was the best thing ever. Owned. Owned. And we, the characters we met, there's another guy who'd just gone, the train had turned up and ended up staying with the Stark team all day up until 11 o'clock at night. And the story of the time, this is the best story ever, is a couple turned up who happened to be in Berlin on a dirty getaway, you filthy fuckers. Yeah. Fucking with the worst. Fucking with the worst. They had got engaged that morning. Rookie mistake, as I told him. Because he proposed to his missus, who was awesome, by the way, in bed as they woke up with dog breath. Dog breath.
Might not have had dog breath.
He had dog breath. He definitely went down on her before bed. There's the sting of juice, left and right, wakes up, whips out the ring, and still gets a hell's yeah. Still gets a hell's yeah.
Even behind a pube mustache.
Even behind a pube, because there's no way he's getting up and washing his face.
No.
Not a fucking chance. So they got engaged that morning, to which they became the heroes. To which I said, and did my signing bit and all that kind of shit. And then said, right then, look, if anybody wants to come back to the bar, you can. Come with us. You know, if you plenty of people old enough, come back to the bar, and you can get drunk with us. You can have a beer with us and all that. I said, if anybody's up for it, we'll do it. So I said, I'll pay for the taxis, because I knew it was only 2 minutes away. I was like, look, we'll get 2 taxis. We'll bomb down to this place. We'll all get in there, and you can join the Start boys and girls, and you can have a big fucking beer. So that was the game plan until Team Vanish arrived, because he turns out he decided we should have this fan meeting in this hotel because it has a giant fish tank. So we had enough. We had like 8 people coming, including me and Andy, and that's 2 taxis. I said to Vanish, what's the name of the bar so we can get there? And then he said, I'm on my way. So don't do that, because that'll be 9 people. That's 3 taxis. And then suddenly he walks around the fucking corner and he's there to see the fish tank. So we were screwed. Turns out it's all right, because the taxis refused. And I have never heard of this in my entire life. The taxis refused to take us because it was too close. It was about a 10, 11-minute walk, something like that. They fucking refused to take us.
Cunts.
Bastards. I have never heard of a taxi ever doing that in my entire life. We could have had somebody with a bad leg or anything. And they just were like, no, I'm not going now. It's too close. I'm not doing it. I was like, you motherfuckers. So we ended up hoofing it anyway. Back to the story, though. Where's Ghost? Good question, audience. I like your attitude. Where is Ghost? As I was, like, signing everything and said, look, you can all come back to this bar or whatever, then I said, right, before we go, then I'll go and get Andy. I don't know where he is. He's probably outside. I said to the guys, look, we've been drinking all day. We're here on a drinking weekend, essentially. I'll go and get Andy. He's probably just getting some air outside. Walked out, vomit all over the front of the Radisson Blu 5-star Berlin hotel. And then someone says, that's not Andy's, is it? Me being a baller went, nah. Knowing in my head, yeah, it totally was. So I'm outside the front of this hotel looking for Andy. Spots him 2 stores down, on his knees, in the street, in the capital of Germany. We've been there 3 hours on his ass.
Right, let me
Talk me
defend
through
myself.
that process.
No?
Talk
Let
me through what happened.
defend myself. That happened, right? I'm not going to deny that, and I feel a cunt for throwing up in the street. I feel
British.
a cunt.
So British. It's like, oh, I've been here 3 hours.
I feel
man.
a fucking cunt for doing that. But no, here's the thing, right? So, probably for about 4 months, I've not had a drink. I've not been drinking at all. I've been on fucking baby watching. Now I'm on baby duty and shit like that. So anyway, we had a quick pre-takeoff half pint in the airport before we went.
Well, we did have a drink at 6 o'clock in the morning.
We
That's
did,
true.
yeah,
we did
right?
drink at 6 o'clock in the morning.
So, yeah, so we got to... fucking hell, I blacked out for most of this. I can only remember fragments of it. But we got to this beer place, and they brought out these... I think they were 2-pint jugs or whatever the fuck they were. It was...
the estimate was you had about somewhere between 4 and 8 litres of beer.
It was gorgeous.
To be fair, though, the problem is when we go to these things, and you will admit this because this happens to us at BlizzCon, it happens every time we go and do this thing, is if we're anywhere where there's beer, we can never get rid of the beer.
Yeah.
Every time we like put a glass down, another one appears or a bottle appears. Like in the Hilton, we had a flight to get. So we said, we'll stop in the Hilton at the BlizzCon and we'll have a couple of beers. We couldn't leave. We were there for like 4 hours because every time people just kept coming over with bottles, and we were like, "Oh my god, I'm so fucking booked."
So yeah, so we got into I can't remember what the pub is, but that beer was so good, and I've not had a beer for so long, and as soon as it touched my lips, I was gone. So
it's so easy. You're like that guy from old school. You're like Will Ferrell. It's when it hits the lips. Yeah. It's so good.
I was like, so I put 4 of them away. And then it just didn't occur to me that I should slow down at all. It just didn't. I was having
to be fair, it was a fucking great time.
It was a really good time, and this beer was delicious. And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, A, you've not eaten, and B, you've not drunk for 4 months.
And we were playing with virtual reality.
And I was playing with virtual reality as well.
It was so loud. We were shouting with football fans.
So anyway, we're on the way to the Radisson, and here's from my perspective now the things that I remember from this to the room. Now, I convinced everyone that my wallet was missing.
Which I knew it wasn't. You went to me, where's my wallet, Mike? Where's my wallet? And I went, I don't know. I'll text Vanish to see if it's in the fucking bar. But I was like, you've had no reason to get your wallet out because we hadn't even paid the bill in the bar yet because we were going back. So I was like, I don't think you've lost it, mate, because you've had absolutely no reason to get it out. But you were convinced in your drunken stupor that you lost
that my wallet was missing. And it wasn't until like we got Like, there was that, and then here's the thing. My perspective of the Radisson Blue thing was, I vaguely remember saying I'm going outside. I don't remember throwing up in front of the doorway, and I mean literally in front of the doorway on the fucking rug. That was a horrible thing, and I'm not bragging about that. What I do remember is...
For a fan meeting?
I know. And I apologise to everyone.
I know. Sorry, I don't mean to...
Right? Anyway, I woke up leaning against a wall, and I was just like, whoa. And then I turned behind me, and I saw this big mound of fucking puke in front of the door, and I didn't even question it. I just closed my eyes, put my head down, and thought, I've done that. Here's the other thing. From that point now, from everything else I remember one guy, nicest fucking guy in the world, literally just bought a bottle of water, and he goes, I've not opened that, you have that. And I kept calling him a diamond geezer. Remember that?
The funny thing was, you just spewed up twice, you were in the fucking blackout zone, I turn around and you're giving it all this in the photographs. Like, you pulled it together.
Really?
Yeah, because some guy must have, like, seen you with vomit on your face, and, like, looking rough as balls, and still went, can I get a picture, though? And you were like, oh, yeah, no problem. And giving it all that, and, like, fucking funny, though. I turn around, he's doing his proper smile, you know, he's got the whole fucking thing going on. And so then we'd have to walk back to the bar, to which you hooked into me again.
Right.
No one seemed to... You had a bottle of water in one hand.
Right.
And then you hooked into me, and I had to walk you to this bar. And you were, like, whispering to me, just take me to the hotel. And I'm like, I am taking you to the hotel. I'm not taking you to get more beer. So we went back to the bar, and then we were like, had all these people. I was like, look, I'm going to take Annie to the hotel and check in and all that stuff. I'll meet you guys back in there in a few minutes. Because now it's on my shoulders to man the fuck up, right? So I go to the hotel and you go, I'm not going in. And I went, why? And he went, I'm not going in. So I was like, oh shit. So I was like, right, I propped you against the thing. I went in, sober as a judge now. I wasn't, but I had the game face on. Like, you know when you think you've got the game face on? I was probably giving it all that. But I checked in for us, and then I came in and grabbed you and, like, hooked you into the lift and just went upstairs. And then you went into the full emotional side where you're like, I'm really sorry. I'm really, really sorry.
No, I was thinking that. I was thinking that again. From the fucking start. I kept saying, do you want to know something else? I'll show you later. When we got back to the UK, sorry to sidetrack, but this was the same time, I got a message from Bobby, you know Bobby, who said, what the fuck is going on? And I scrolled up, and then there was 2 texts that I sent to him, thinking he was sent to you.
Oh, yeah.
That, like, I think was outside. I can't remember sending them. But one of them was, I'm so fucking sorry. And the other one is, I know I fucked up. And then Bobby texted me and ringing me saying, what the fuck have you done? I was like, oh my God. But it weren't until, like, work on Monday that he rang me on Monday morning and said, what the fuck was that about? I was like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, it was
But yeah,
cool.
so
I
hotel lobby.
So I managed to get you to the room, opened the door, and you just went in and went straight on the bed, and you were like, go, get out. And I'm like, dude, can I put my fucking bag down? I've just walked through the door. You're like, just go and see everybody. I'm like, I will. Shut the fuck up. I'm going to do it. To which point, you decided to take your pants off, phone your soon-to-be wife, and start swinging your dick in a circle.
On point, mate.
And I broed it up and never told a soul. You brought it up.
Because Suzanne
I never
me.
said anything. I left that place and went back down to the bar and never brought it up until you brought it up.
Suzanne reminded me. Like, she said, do you not remember helicopter dicking on FaceTime? I was like, no. And he goes, it was pretty funny, but your mum caught a glimpse.
I never told a fucking soul. Everybody at that event will guarantee me that I never said a fucking word. I came back down, got a beer, and got carried on with the whole fucking situation. But it turned out to be a pretty expensive do. I think the bill in there got up to like, I don't know, 400 euros. To which, I don't know. I mean, I brought money. I was like, make sure I get my part of the bill. Someone paid it. But they decided that because it was costing so much to keep everybody drinking in there, and nobody knew who had drank what at that point. Nobody had any idea. We just kept asking for more and more beer. They were like, let's go back to the apartment they've got. Now, I want to say, because most people are invited to these Stark things, if you're a member of Stark, I believe. I'm not sure on the rules. I don't want to say anything. And, well, you didn't need to, guys. That's what I was saying. I was like, why have no one charged me? Because I know I've drank loads of these beers, and so have you. Let's go back to the apartment. What the guys sorted out was actually like a tower block.
It was really
good. With 3 floors.
Yeah.
And with a winding staircase that joined all 3 floors of it up for everybody who stayed there. Now, ultimate baller of the weekend. So everybody who we met at the fan meet, who came back to the bar, all stayed with Stark, pretty much, for this entire duration, right? Which is pretty crazy. They all just had a good time. All those beers that you see there were brought by one man, and his name's Jeff.
His name Jeff.
His name Jeff. Jeff, like a stallion, tweeted to say, "Oh, I'm gonna come down and see Preach at the very last fucking minute, right? At the very last minute, can I come down and see Preacher?" To which Vanish replied to him, "Yeah. Also, we've got a spare room in these 3 floors." And he went, "Oh right, how much do I owe you?" He said, "Don't worry about it. It's already been paid for. Why don't you bring a few beers?" Jeff and his missus turned up with that at the last fucking clutch moment. That's what he pulled up in. He drove, I think, like 8 hours?
Something like that.
Something like that. Jeff fucking drove like 8 hours with his missus, who hates WoW, who was totally fucking gangster, and just turned up with all that for everybody. And he just, because they had a spare room. Jeff was a fucking carry. So, in response to Jeff being the ultimate fucking carry, I believe I've got it here. We gave Jeff one of these. There's Jeff. What a gangster.
He was.
What a fucking super gangster. Just turned up, just drove 8 hours, was like, "Hey, can I come and meet Preach?" And they were like, "Yeah, you can stay over if you want. We've got a spare room. Is it going to cost anything?" "No, just bring a few beers with you." Jeff fucking rocked the car for 8 hours, all the way down with his missus, who hates WoW. I had a great chat with her. She was like, "I don't know, it makes him happy, I suppose." And I was like, "Such a cool, you're awesome." You're fucking super awesome. And brought all the fucking booze with him, which was super fucking awesome.
Great big dick as well.
Oh, great big dick.
Look.
A great big dick. So I carried on drinking, and I didn't feel too bad until I left. Because they were going out at night as well. So I think at about 5 p.m. I thought, right, I've got 2 hours to try and come back and see you, because everybody like was saying you need to go check on Andy. And I was like, fuck Andy, he's gonna be all right. So go check on Andy. So about 5 o'clock, I got Kitty, who was Team Germany. This lovely lady here rocked us a taxi, got back, and then realised that trains are bullshit, because we were literally 2 minutes away from our hotel, and we'd taken 3 trains from the hotel to get to the apartments. I got the taxi, it was there, and like cost me like €3. I was like, "The fuck is this?" What the fuck is this? And got back there, and saw you were still asleep. I dived on the bed, feeling a little ropey at this point, because all the air had hit me. And I was feeling real rough by that point. I was feeling real rough by this point. And managed to get asleep. But I set the alarm. They were meeting at 8 o'clock, and they're going for Korean barbecue. I set the alarm for 8 o'clock and put the phone on my face. And then put my head on the pillow and thought, right, can't miss that. We both slept through it.
Oh, yeah. I was
another rookie error. We
gone.
didn't wake up till 9 o'clock. And they were meeting at 8. And I literally set the alarm for like 7:30, I think. And put the phone on my face and put it on the pillow. And slept right through it, going off on my face. And then you woke me up to say my missus was super pissed, because obviously I was like trying to sort everything out, didn't call her, and then you got a phone call from your missus saying, "Yeah, Emma needs to speak to Mike, she's pissed." So that happened. So anyway, it's 9 o'clock. So we decided that we were both like semi-hungover, rough at this point. We had serious headaches. And then decided we text the team and said, "Where the fuck are you?" They're like, "We're at the Korean barbecue." I said, "Look, just I don't know if they were. I just like, hey, don't wait for us or anything like that. We're gonna grab some food and we'll come and meet you." So we had to look for food in Berlin, which is not easy.
It isn't
It's
really.
not easy.
No,
Berlin
no.
is really inconvenient.
Yeah.
Really inconvenient, because you can't take that stuff on the plane. We didn't take like deodorant or toothpaste or anything. We were just gonna get it when we got here from the supermarket. Nowhere.
No.
Fucking retarded. And everyone was like, "Yeah, it's a city centre. What do you expect? Have you been to Manchester? I can get anything in about 2 minutes, no matter where I am in Manchester city centre. It's so easy." So that was a bit of a fuck up. So we ended up looking for that, and we ended up having schnitzel, which was just the worst thing.
Salami
ever.
pizza.
A schnitzel in a Turkish kebab house. It was so bad. We had schnitzel in a Turkish kebab house. It was the worst food I've eaten in years. I felt like such a student. It was fucking awful. It was a doner. It was a doner place. And we went in there and was like, we'll have some schnitzel and we'll have a pizza or whatever. And it was fucking awful. It was like the worst thing ever.
Yeah,
it was so bad. It was the roughest thing I've ever eaten. I fucking felt like I was about 13 again, which was really bad. It was really bad. So we filled up on that, and then we went to the barbecue place, and everyone was there, and they were finishing up, which was a rough dinner for some and great for others, whatever. And then we went back to the apartments, and then the next morning we met everybody in at the same doner place we'd actually eaten at the night before, which was really weird. As soon as you had Dunkin' Donuts, though, mate.
Dunkin' Donuts, mate.
Dunkin' Donuts was apparently the most popular place in Berlin for every.
Amazing.
That queue was out the door all the time we were there. Dunkin' Donuts, and I met everyone who was rough as fuck. Totally rough as fuck.
That's the first time that I've ever seen Halloween on sort of like the losing end of a hangover battle. By the time we got to the place where we ate him, he was rough. He was rough, bless him.
He was rough. He was rough. But we were okay by that point.
Yeah, we were right, like Frankie Boyle.
Yeah. So we're running through some names today. So this is me and Andy.
That's deep throating a sausage. Look at that tender touch, though. Yeah? And look at Vanish's hand on the back of my head.
The sad thing about this picture, the truth of this picture is... Oh, one light final story. We woke up in the morning. We had to check out at 11, but we'd had breakfast set for us at the hotel, which was delish. But as
that breakfast was so good.
Yeah, you were in the shower, and we had this cozy moment first thing in the morning. There you go. This is just first thing in the morning. You've playing Hearthstone, as you can see there, or watching somebody play Hearthstone on a stream. And we were tender as the night.
Twice as gay.
First thing in the morning. Yeah. Cuddled up, giving it the big snuggles. I obviously had no idea you'd taken that picture. And you were in the shower, to which I thought I would like clean up and get ready to go, because I had the shower first.
Oh God, I know what you're going to say. No,
and then I went to put something in the bin. And then I thought, that's odd. So I thought, I'll go and have a little knocky knock on the door and see Andy. Andy, do you realise that you threw up in the bin like yesterday and neither of us noticed until this morning? The bin was full of vomit. It was so rough. But it didn't smell, in your defence. It obviously didn't smell because none of us noticed. But it was so rough, and you were like, oh, I'll clean it up in a fucking minute. Yeah, no worries, I'll clean it up in a minute. But yeah, it was,
not a drop was spilled either.
Not a drop was spilled. I don't even know how you did that. But
skills, mate.
It was fucking skills that kills. But yeah, it was totally
Chunder marksman.
So that would have been three vomits, I think, from Team Ghost.
Yeah.
So people then, obviously me, Ghosty, Orgos, Frubbalicious from Team Israel.
He fucking sucks at beer pong, by the way. 1 of 6.
I imagine there's not a lot of beer pong in Team Israel, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure who that is because it's blurry. Oh.
Sauce puddle and mud.
Kitty, Zoe, as you know from the chat. Vanish. This is where they went for a medieval dinner, which we missed out because that was on a Friday and we couldn't get there. Which is brilliant. This guy's Halloween, guys. This guy was fucking ironing at a drinking weekend.
He's got his shit together as that lad.
He's got his little ironing board. He's got his little iron, and he's keeping those whites. Endemic. Yeah, it's DK. Endemic DK. This is everybody.
Oh shit, there's me!
Ha! This guy is... I'm going to get his name. I'm going to get his country wrong. I want to say Slovenia or something like that. Always looked like he wanted to kill me. Every second of the day, he looked like he wanted to kill me. This is his resting face. The devil. And I called him out on it every single fucking time. I was like, stop looking at me. Stop looking at me. You're fucking me off, man. Look at Romanian. Yeah, and he was called Vlad. Vlad from Romania.
Oh, shit.
And he was like, I'm sorry, it's my resting face. But look how fucking evil it is. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Sinister. Sinister, to say the least. Fucking sinister. Do not like. Do not appreciate. Do not want.
Khal Drogo look-alike.
Yeah. Big Jeff. Obviously, we pointed to his giant dick, just to make sure everybody knew about it. Zoe and Hallow. Some big bears. This guy. I don't know why. He's called Alex. A little while ago in Stark, which is like a, it's a community guild, but it's taken off on its own 2 feet for a long time now. There was Team 2, which, as you know, full of twats. And, I'm joking. But they were led by a guy, which I believe is Alex. But at some point, somebody in Team 2 decided to, one of the officers decided to, kick everybody from Stark as retribution for something. I mistakenly thought that was Alex. So as soon as I saw him, what was your name? He went, Alex. I just started calling him out. For all day. He's like, wasn't me. I was like, fucking was. Bastard. Gave him so much fucking shit for it. Which is really cool. Scary Shade, who's let me down. This is my tanking partner, by the way.
Shade's changed, man.
Shade's changed.
Maturity hit him like an atom bomb, and I don't like it.
Yeah, Shade used to be a friend.
Let me tell him, give him...
There's only 2 tanks per guild, you know that, right? So we were tanking partners. He was a brewmaster, clearly a girl. I was a prot warrior, being the man. He's a bottom bitch. And previous to meeting him, I've met him before, covered in drool, drunk as a skunk.
Beer everywhere.
This time, though, button-up suit.
You seen that picture of the full Stark team, mate?
With an umbrella.
With a fucking umbrella.
With a brolly.
With an umbrella.
With an umbrella. Jesus. Absolutely delicious.
He's just a shade of his former self.
Well, prot warriors in this shot, which is very cool. And there's the entire scene. That's how many people went.
Don't gloss over.
Look at it. There he is. How am I supposed to tank with this on a drinking weekend? Shoes, pants, shirt, jacket, to only one button fastened of the deuce.
Did someone...
Pink umbrella.
Did someone paint Juro like one of their French girls?
I just don't know how I'm supposed to tank with him anymore. I don't know how I'm supposed to do it. Unbelievable. I can't tank with that. It's outrageous. It's outrageous. Just makes no sense. Generally, there's an entire squad of people. What a great weekend. Awesome to see guilds doing stuff like that still. I'm glad that Stark is one of them. And I believe their next one is in Portugal, I think, is the big discussion. Team Portugal, going to go and do it.
Change the screen.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah, we're back on point.
Did you?
Way! So, yeah, what a wonderful weekend. Thank you to everybody who came out and said hi. Thank you to Big Jeff. Congratulations to those who were getting married, which was nuts. That was just fucking crazy. They were like, we're getting married. I was like, since when? They're like, today. That is crazy.
That meal you had before we finished this conversation.
What meal?
In that restaurant where I had that rare steak.
Oh, yeah. So the final meal we had before we left Berlin, I got recommended by Team Germany, said it was nice. It was turkey with cheese on it and peaches.
And roast peaches.
It was really good. A little too cheesy. I had to scrape a lot of the cheese off. But I had never had peaches on turkey before. And it was really nice. No, it was good. It was really, really good. It was awesome. So I look forward to, we're going to be hopefully at BlizzCon. We haven't got our tickets yet, but I'm just waiting on the confirmation email to say that we have them, which would be really nice. So we should be there. But yeah, turkey and peaches it was. But I'd never had it, and I read it and thought, that sounds really weird. And everyone was like, yeah, that's really nice. And I tried it out, and it was, in fact, really nice. You, the girl, for having a fucking steak.
I had a fucking rare steak like a man. A rare steak. You had a Florida-style piece of turkey.
Well, it's not Florida-style. We've been to Florida. There is no steak and peaches there. There's no turkey and peaches there.
I was Ron Swanson at that table.
Yeah. I don't think... See, nobody knows. And nobody thinks that's strange. You see what I mean? Peach and turkey sounds fine. But vile with cheese. There was a lot of cheese. It was like a creamy cheese. Yeah, so that had to fuck off. I'm not having a rare steak at fucking 11 o'clock in the morning, man.
Hungover.
That is crazy.
That's the animal ridiculous. In me.
That is absolutely ridiculous. I'm not doing that. No. Yeah, no. Peaches, it was really good. If you see it, try it out.
It was better than a rare steak.
Big shouts out to everyone, though. Like, the girls that all came. There was quite a few of the ladies there. All had fellas who didn't want to go because it was a nerd fest. The girls went anyway. Fuck yeah. Standing tall, standing proud, the girls, which was really good. We've got a drama story about a guy who apparently jizzed in like 5 seconds flat and got caught doing it, and then had to leave the guild.
Halloween.
By Halloween.
Oh my god!
Story
what
goes,
a waste of a perfectly
I'm hoping
good
she's going to write a drama story.
Don't mention no names.
I'm not mentioning any names. I hope she's going to write a drama story because I want the details of this because it sounds awesome. But picture that Mr. Halloween in the chat here apparently opened the door and closed the door and was there for the whole event, is how he described it to me. That is crisp. That is crisp.
It was Halloween's face, it was the catalyst.
He just turned around and he went, yeah, I walked in on him and I said, did you see some bouncing tits? He went, no, I closed the door and apparently I saw the whole thing. All good story. So I'm hoping she writes a drama story for us. The poor lad, though, had to leave the guild. Oh, never gonna. You're never gonna live that down.
You cannot
never
put yourself
living that down
in that situation and stick with the guild.
You know, he's gonna have that forever. Now we did receive. Now, unfortunately, I have opened this, but Andy's not seen it. My wife opened it because she.
Hunter Power Sander.
We received obviously we have a PO box. This is what we got this time. So this message is pretty heartwarming, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it is. You want to open it up and see what you can find in there? So it came in a box that appeared to be a power sander. So I was a little suspicious about a power sander. Have a look what you got, pal. Toys.
Oh, I think I know it. Oh! You can have that one.
So we got toy masks.
Oh! Loads of... Ooh.
What'd you get?
Tell you
Don't
what.
put it in your mouth yet.
Whoa.
Have faith.
Is that an actual pipe?
It's a legit pipe.
Holy shit!
It's a real pipe. A man's pipe.
Clean that shit.
Yeah. I didn't want to touch it until then.
Pirate eye patch.
I'm not sure where we can fit these into a legacy, but we'll try and make it.
I know I can fit this, mate.
Batman's mask. And a pirate patch, which is very cool. I got a lovely message from the man and his wife. It's from Team Israel.
Really?
It is from Team Israel. Hi, Mike. My name is... Don't bother pronouncing it. It's in Hebrew. Challenge accepted. Nailed it, right? It's in Hebrew, and I much prefer you call me by my handle, Mephisto. Been a fan of yours ever since I stumbled upon a video called The Top 5 Scumbags in WoW, featuring you. Since then, I've been binge-watching them. My first live stream on Friday was a really good one, and it's now the famed Hallowed Art Thou Adrian. You remember that? Boxes a few goodies. I sent a few months ago, but the very good people in the Israeli mail lost it, and only recently found it. The pipe belonged to my grandfather. Are you listening?
That's fucking beautiful.
Wait. The pipe belonged to my grandfather, who fought in the Jewish-British brigades in World War II.
Holy shit.
Yeah, man. Since I have no use for it and it's not a sacred heirloom, I thought you could have. Sadly, I have no tome or silk bathrobe to send you to complete the look. That means his grandfather was dapper as a motherfucker. So that is a legit relic. So I'm going to put that somewhere safe and not let Andy use it as a prop. Because he has a pipe already. The rest of you, tell Andy I'm sorry. I'm just skipping some of the important, some of the more personal bits. Tell Andy I'm sorry I couldn't find him a regulation eye patch, but I did find him one, and I'm sure he will enjoy it.
That's a fucking beaut. Where is it?
Thank you for improving my gameplay, only slightly. I'm still really shit. And thank you for the long hours of entertainment. I usually work by myself, surrounded by only lab rats. So drama time in the web show would pass the time really well. I've already converted many of your videos to sound. Ad blocker. So I will empty out my phone battery listening to YouTube. Thank you for inspiring me to make my own content for fun. I can really appreciate the time and effort you put into videos like the Legacies. Until people try editing a few times, they won't know how goddamn frustrating it is. Yes. From myself, Mrs. Meth, and our 2 kids, a big hairy knuckled bro fist and a holler. P.S. Mrs. Meth is actually silky smooth and has no hairy knuckles, thank God.
What a bro.
She has the clean bush confirmed.
What a bro.
Thank you very much, Meth. Thank you very much. And I will put that with all our letters that we get, which is cool. And I will keep this safe. I just wanted Andy to see it. I knew he'd immediately try and put it in his mouth. It could have come from anywhere in the world, and you just instantly try and put it in your mouth, which is nuts. Which is... I just found that hilarious. Right then!
Where's Iggle Piggle?
Iggle Piggle's there. Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? That is really scary. That is terrifying. That is never coming off, by the way. Let's talk quickly then. So, let's talk about some WoW stuff before we get into some drama and all that kind of stuff and get through tonight's show. Thank you for sticking with our little self-indulgence there of our journey trip. But I honestly, whenever we're going away, please, for the love of God, try and come and say hello. It's why we do these things.
I will be more sober next time.
I won't. I was perfectly acceptable and a gentleman.
I wasn't. I was a cunt.
Well, yeah, maybe next time you'll do that. So, yeah, thank you to everybody in... well, in fact, a lot of people weren't from Germany, which is a really strange thing. In fact, last time we were in Germany, we met mostly English people who travelled to Germany to see us, which is crazy, which means we really need to do something in Britain. And in America as well. We see all kinds of people like that, so we'll do it. When's the next match tour? I think I'll organise one myself, just to have a meet-up or something like that. Well, in fact, what am I saying? We have one in the summer. There is one in Manchester this summer, and it's going to be part of a legacy video, where we're inviting everybody down. I have already said that, and in fact, I think it scrolls across the bottom of the screen every couple of minutes, is that we will be announcing the team-up in Manchester pretty soon. We're just making sure everything works out. Emma's in charge of sorting that out. So yeah, Team UK is happening this summer, and you will be available to be in a legacy video. And hopefully we'll have a live show going on with that. On that stamp, the legacy video, the next one is finished. It was released to the Patreons a couple of days ago. Well, a version of it. It went horrifically wrong in the live sequences, which was a real shame. A real shame. I tried my absolute hardest to make it work. Doesn't work. Doesn't work at all, which is a real shame. So It's going to release on YouTube on Thursday. On Thursday, it's coming out there. We did some stuff, including... I think I can rework some of it into that, but the video is... the next legacy is finished, and it will be coming back. Horrific, you mean glorious? I do not. I do not. Particularly, I've showed some of the terrible stuff to the Patreon guys, because I was like, look, you know, you guys, like, support this.
You've
this
not shown me any.
You haven't seen any. I can show you after the thing, though. Like, it's really bad. Some of it looked really good. Because you play a rogue, I can say this. Your Shadow Step looked really good. But generally speaking, no, it came out really badly. So it's a shame, but it's a learning experience. It was the first time we were like out and about filming on location. We were in like a very religious place, so we couldn't destroy it too much, although we did destroy quite a lot of it. Got chocolate sprinkles all over the floor and made generally a big mess of things, which is... See the way you come in out of nowhere? It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. We've already done Legacy of Rogue, so I can safely say that. Oh, that's not the one. Either way, I'll show you later. So they'll be out on YouTube on Thursday, so I'm going to have to do some little re-editing to try and make it work, but it's finished. It's coming out Thursday. Let's gauge some reaction then. So, Mr. Soda Poppin managed to demonstrate that you could, in fact, level from 0 to 100 within 5 hours. To which, in the current climate of things, and always why I'm sort of hesitant about discussing these things, prompted lots of people to jump on the wow shit bandwagon. However, it was really interesting. I watched the video. I actually thought it was really cool. It was all done legitimately for the most part. There was nothing scary done about it at all. So what he did was 2 potions that give 300% extra experience, which are totally available in game. Had to do something to make them both stack, so they stacked up to 600% extra. Full heirlooms, and recruit a friend. And was there something else on top? He ended up with, he said in the video he had 950% extra experience gained. So like one quest gave him like 5 levels. He got from 0 to 70 to 80, I think, in 40 minutes. It was pretty impressive. Honestly, it was pretty impressive. Now, I don't think that's the thing that we're discussing. The big one is like, it jumped on the destroyed WoW, and this is terrible. Yeah, I'd recruit a friend and all that kind of stuff. It was a cool thing to see, actually. I thought it was really cool to witness. And there was a lot of outrage about it, but I think the big comment there, some people even pointed out, is absolutely no fucking way would a new player ever be able to do this. There is a lot of setup involved in this, which then prompted, of course, we've had the Legacy discussion recently, the Legacy, not my Legacies, the Legacy servers and vanilla and all that kind of stuff. Is like, oh, well, but you're ruining the leveling experience. If you're going to set this up, like, the amount of work, and you have to pay money, like, in-game and, you know, in real life to set this up, if you're going to do that, you're not after a rich leveling experience, right? And is this a problem that you could do this? If you're going to go to that much effort just to level a character from 0 to 100, is it a problem that it goes quickly? Do you think so?
I think, no,
I can't see why anybody would have a fucking problem with it, at all.
Because, mate...
It's time to get angry.
It's the fucking same idiots that just see it. They'll see it on paper. 1 to 100 in 5 hours in like a whatever amount of video. Oh, that's why it's bullshit now, this fucking game.
That's exactly the reaction.
I'm a fucking dickhead, but I'm going to be loud about it because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I was like, this is really cool. I thought that was
fucking
really cool.
hate them. Arseholes, go kill yourself. The fact is, he's not made it secret, and I'm not a fucking fan of Soda Poppin', but I'm not going to bash him for this. He's not made it secret. It's like, yeah, this is how bullshit this game is, done it in 5 hours. No, but people are going to take from a headline like a fucking tabloid. Cool. Oh, this is fucking bullshit. This is bullshit. This game's got a fucking shit now. He's capped in 5 hours. Get off the fucking bandwagon, you losers!
Yeah, absolutely. That was the response from a lot of people. Losers. It's like, this is ruining the game. Like, are you fucking out of your mind?
I fucking hate people.
Because they're
also... They die.
You actually just basically described every YouTube comment that I saw about the thing. All, like, forum comment. I mean, I did my research and checked what the reaction was, but I knew what it was going in, but I wanted to double check and that was exactly what it was. I was like, guys, this has to stop. You can't be this ignorant all the time. It's just so bad when you're doing this. If you ever want any feedback to get through properly, you can't be this ignorant all the time. This is a problem. Because we've got another thing coming. Oh, some leaked stuff. Now, this is leaked rumour stuff that they're going to have class trials. We're not entirely sure how it's going to work yet. It's kind of leaked. It's not been really put forward yet. But we did know it was coming quite a while ago. They did say they were going to do this. Which is that you'll be able to test the spec before you boost it. in like a limited environment. So maybe
That's
how
cool.
it's going to work out, it might be something like a proving ground, or you might get access to like a test-only BG, a test-only LFR, which is only people who are testing characters, you know, something along those lines, limited from the rest of the population, but you'll be able to sort of test out characters. And again, people started losing their mind about this. You've been able to test fully capped characters instantaneously on the free available PTR since forever. Since literally forever, you've been able to do that. And the big problem with the level 90 boost and the level 100 boost was people boosted characters that they thought were cool. And we can do a quick check here. We've got a few thousand people here. How many of you used your boost and was like, oh, this is nothing like what I expected to be, and never played that character again? I already know the answer because you kind of did this quiz a little while ago.
I did that at 90 with a druid.
And never played it.
Well, I played it for a bit in 3 specs and never played it since.
Yeah. And now I will want to point something else here. We're going to talk about some WoW stuff here. Now, yeah, loads of people. So now they're going to give you the chance in-game to do it. But you've already been able to do this for so fucking long. A big problem when we do PTR testing or alpha testing or anything like that is a lot of people on there play characters that they don't know how to play. Because you can just make them. You don't have to do anything. You just click it and make it go. And off they go. And that's been available since forever. You can go on the PTR and instantly make boost capped characters with reasonable gear to go and test things out with. I don't want to point stuff out here. Usually I'm like, try not to jump in, but this time I'm going to change the difference because I only really, considering the Legacy and Berlin, got to really play WoW again on Friday. We had a full live stream day on Friday where we tested out Azuna and the new zone Suramar, which was interesting. We'll talk about that in a second. But I'm absolutely not 100% up to date on all the WoW stuff, especially if it's come out over like the last couple of, like last 4 or 5 days. So if you want to jump in with some information, that's absolutely fine. Ordinarily, I'm like research the fuck. I'm fully aware I've just not had the time to stay fully up to date with everything. I will be by Tuesday, because we're doing just nothing but WoW stuff this week. The YouTube channel will be flooded on Monday, by the way, because we're getting back into that. But I just want you to bear that in mind. Is that I could be wrong on some things or on something else. So this thing should be coming in. Again, people are like, this is bullshit. It's people playing cat cards. It's like, you gotta stop doing this. Legion might be bad. Might be. But it's not going to be bad just because you want it to be bad. Do you know what I mean? And that is the feeling we get all this time. Is that you want it to be bad. And that's a really interesting situation that we're in right now. I mean, I made that video last week. It was like, you can't just have the outrage meter always to 11. No one's going to listen to you if you do that. And a lot of people turn it into stifling feedback. No, give feedback. Don't scream it, because it just sounds like all the noise of everything else, which is crazy. So let's jump into WoW for a minute and show you some stuff.
Show me some stuff.
Show everybody some stuff. Now, I will want to point out here, I will let you know audibly, we're only going to look at this very briefly. And the reason for that is, this is spoilers, and I know some of you don't want spoilers. What I will say to this is, don't just disappear. I will not audibly describe what's going on like in detail, so you won't get spoiled. I will via audio I will tell you like some things that are happening, but not like in detail. Visually you'll be able to see it, so that there'll be spoilers there, but I'm not going to say what's going on. So the big concern with Legion, of course, is what is the end game? Do we have the problem of WoD where there is nothing to fucking do when we capped? Which was a huge pain in the ass. I'll turn this audio off in a second, guys, if you just bear with me. I don't want that to be a thing. There we go. Hello. Ooh. So, we got our level 110 character. Off we go. Our level 110 character. Okay, so you can cap now on the alpha, which is really nice. So we capped on Friday. We did the Zone Azuna, which is really cool. A lot of adult themes in there. A lot of adult themes. And they've done it in the style of Animaniacs. Like Animaniacs and Ren and Stimpy were cartoons for kids? Well, they had some seriously adult themes that were really going on. They've done that in Azuna really well. It's if you see what you know what you're looking at, it's really quite dark what's going on in Azuna, really quite dark, but they try and hide it. They try and hide it, but yeah, it's the thing that's going on. Hopefully the server's not dead. That'll be a pain in the ass. Yeah, Azuna's been out for quite some time, but I didn't get a chance to play it. In fact, we tried to play Azuna twice on stream, and both times the zone has died. I ended up cosplaying on Friday because we did some Harry Potter questing, so I dressed up as Gandalf while we did that. Which was very cool. I got my full Gandalf on. I can whiz that out after the break if you guys want to see that. And the server might be dead, guys, which would be a bit of a pisser if it is, because I just want to show this off. So what we got in the end game is professions. I've got a revamp, a massive revamp, which I've tested out a few of the professions: blacksmithing, tailoring, mining, herbing, and a little bit of alchemy. I haven't gone balls deep into alchemy yet. Very cool. All quest driven. No leveling of points, skills, or anything like that going on. You are looking to unlock things, recipes, and grades of recipes via questing and going and visiting master smiths and all that kind of stuff. Is it as in-depth as we would have liked? Probably not. I don't think it's going to be something that you're constantly doing, but I could be wrong on that. We haven't gone that far deep into it. Has random events tied to it, which were very cool. Literally stumbled into Dalaran and a random event was occurring tied to my profession, which I didn't know what was happening. It happened on Friday on the stream and was super cool. It was like, what the fuck is this? We thought it was a mini game, turned into a big quest where we then on a Sherlock Holmes type thing where we were questioning people, interrogating people. Really nice situation going on. Server is up, world server is down. Get wrecked, Halloween. I love it when that happens. It's so crispy. So crispy good. So we have all this profession stuff going on. Which is something that's even better. I love the random events. They all come with mini cutscenes, which is nice as well. They've done the detail on that, and generally so far it's been really interesting. I hope it continues to be that interesting. You then have an entire zone. I thought Suramar, the final zone, was going to be 108 plus. Like, you could use the other zones to get to 108. That's not true. It's a 110 only zone, which is massive. It's massive. It actually looks quite small on the map, but it's actually 3 zones in one. You've got an underground, you've got a middle ground, and a lot of overground stuff. So a lot of tunnels and all that. The zone is fucking huge. And only really just got started there with it's got its own big story about you rebuilding this thing. And it very much feels like the Isle of Keldanas. Do you remember the Isle of Keldanas? A lot of people try to compare
Burning Crusade, Sunwell.
The Burning Crusade, Sunwell, but way bigger. You're rebuilding the area. So it's kind of like a mix so far of Isle of Keldanas, but no dailies so far, but there will be dailies there, I'm sure. Lot of big story quests going on there, and side quests that you bump into, which give you more story of what's going on in the zone. It feels a combination of the Isle of Keldanas, the Firelands daily hub, which I don't think you did, and the Isle of Thunder, all mixed together.
That's cool.
It's very cool. It's very, very cool. And I guarantee you're going to see this everywhere. There is a currency to be collected there, but it's very small, and everybody started saying Apexis, including me. But I think we need to remember one thing. Apexis was horrible because it was a universal currency that just went from the start of the expansion all the way to the end and was just ridiculous that every single task you did rewarded it. Currency in and of itself is not a bad thing, right? Honor points are a currency. They're not a bad thing. So saying it's Apexis is really ridiculous, but I'm sure people will jump on that bandwagon at some point. But there is currency to be collected there, which you feed to the area to make it grow and unlock more quests and do the sort of progression path that you'll do there. Now, what if you don't want to do that? Because you could say that's a bit like a Tanani Timeless Isle type zone. If you're not into that sort of... But I wouldn't say... So far, I've not hit any dailies. We were there for at least a couple of hours. I need 110 one, to be honest.
Just try this one and log it in, and then...
what I'll do is I'll just switch back to here while we're doing this. I'll just log out of Battle.net completely and go back in. What was I saying? So you've got this entire zone to go out, which I haven't finished yet. I'm hoping to progress quite heavily into it over the next week. But I know we're a guy who'd been in it pretty much non-stop, and he's saying it just keeps going. And so far, it just keeps on progressing, which is really cool. Alternatively, you have the World Quest system, which is... There we go. Cool. We're in. Excellent. Is it this one? Yes, it is.
That's what you're showing.
So I want to show you the World Quest system. Now, the World Quest system is when you click your map, you'll see this is now at the bottom of your screen. And this World Quest system is actually pretty good. So what you've got is, you've got 3 things. So it'll say to you either the Valajar World Quest, which is complete 4 World Quests in Stormheim, or complete 4 in High Mountain, or complete 4 in Val Shiraz, and that will get you a pack of shit, right? A pack of goodies. So then you'll go, okay, so I have Stormheim, High Mountain, and Val Shiraz to look at. So then you go to your map and you go over to Stormheim. And then you'll see all these are choices. You have to complete any 4 if you want the reward. And you have all these choices of things you want to do. Now, at the absolute basic solo, if you were like, I have no friends, I like playing World of Warcraft on my own, you're going to be really limited to quests that pretty much already exist in some form, like fill the bar stuff, right? It then tells you what. So we have to complete 4 of these to get our final reward. This is kind of how the daily system is. So this is like, fill the bar there, you'll get some order resources, which leads towards a different endgame thing that we'll talk about soon. You can do that one, which gets you artifact power, as you can see there. You could do that one, which also gets you artifact power. Well, what you'll notice is there are also blue circle ones.
Yeah, I saw.
And there's different ones as well. Now, I can't see all of them, but I have mining, so there's a mining one there. If I want to get my reward for mining, I can do that. There's also pet battle ones. I'm sure there'll be archaeology ones. I'm sure anything you want to do, like the bounties in Diablo, people are comparing it to, you can do. You can pick and choose whatever you want to do. So I have 2, if I was really wanting to work on my mining or whatever, I have 2 mining ones I can do here. And then I also have the more interesting blue ones, which will give me actual gear, which is a dungeon. That's a dungeon. So if I want to queue for the daily dungeon, you remember the daily dungeon from Wrath of the Lich King? Mm-hmm. So this is that kind of system as well. And you also got kill this guy. And if it's in a circle, it's generally a group-based quest. So if you've got a couple of buddies or you're going to go out there, you can do that. You've also got quests like PvP ones. Okay? And you've got another one over here, which is Boulder Fall, the Eroded Slain, Danger, Dangerous Things. So you can go and kill these guys. And these will unlock. Now, I've bumped into more, as I've been doing around the area, a different style of quests, which is pretty interesting. So what do you think of that? This is just nothing to do with anything other than just going and getting some stuff. This is like the daily quest system in Legion. This is how they've done it. What if you don't want to go there, you might say? Well, you can go over to High Mountain and do the other one, which has also got all sorts of different kinds of quests. They've got mining ones as well. They've got some fill the bars. Now, I will say some of these involve things like, that's a herbing one, is things like events. So I did one yesterday where I was like riding a boat, which was pretty cool with a cannon. I did another one where we went around an area and we had to take over cannons and shoot fellbats down, usual type of stuff. But you've all got all these choices, and they're not all fill the bar. You've got some kill some things, you know what I mean? And all different kinds of things you can do. But you absolutely have a lot of choice here of things you want to do to get 4. And I think the other one was Val Shara, and they've got ones as well. So you've got a dungeon one, and they've got some different ones here. So this is like the daily quest system that exists in Legion. Is picking and choosing the zone. And more importantly, I think it's a good system, is what do you want to do there? You're not tied to, like, in tonight, it's like kill the rares.
So you're not all waiting for the same mobs or nodes to spawn as well?
No, now, I will say something that should be noted. It's on the alpha right now. A lot of these quests are bugged, which is fine. It only came out a couple of days ago. This is the whole point of the alpha, is that, you know, some things are bugged. You couldn't finish a lot of the quests, but you will be able to finish them. You'll get the idea. I really like this. I mean, for a point of sustainable, outgoing content, you can work on whatever the hell you want to do. Now, what I will say is a lot of the rewards point to things like reputation, pets and mounts, and that kind of shit. That's the only bit that worries me, is that that's a really finite amount of content. For some, like for me, I don't care about mounts and pets. That instantly counts that kind of reward out for me.
Is Winston in game now?
I don't know.
Baby Winston. Sorry, mate.
Sorry, I have no idea. The chat could probably answer that. So you've got you can do anything you want. This is separate from Suramar, which is a whole different kettle of fish. This is the entire zone of Suramar, by the way. That's the wrong one. Suramar. This is Suramar. This is the entire 110 zone. As you can see, we've only done this. We've got all this going on here, and this stretches out. Yes, Baby Winston is in game. And it spreads out. This is all underground, by the way. There's above ground, middle ground, overground, and everything. This is fucking huge. In fact, some guy... this guy, I was supposed to go and give a coin to this guy, but I was streaming, I was talking to the guy, I forgot I even had the coin. He teleported me over here into the water because I didn't give him the coin quick enough. It's fucking miles away, it took me ages to get back. What a twat. But this is, so you've got all that as endgame. Separate to that is, of course, this system. And we have the profession system on top of that. And we have the garrison campaign, which is going to be seeking out the rest of your artifact relics and unlocking that, which is a very solo personal journey, which seems... very different. Again, I did this discussion. Is the only similarity between WoD Garrisons is that there's a mission table interface that is about the limit of it.
Is that what people were?
People were bitching because it had a mission table, but it's literally.
It's a crystal.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much, and you know, it works way different. But people jumped all over it and were like, "Oh no, this is the worst."
Let's
thing
make
ever.
a video. I'm an idiot.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I didn't watch them, but there you go. That's that. So we also have the new character paint. I'm, in principle, really happy with this, besides the fact that item level is so prominent. Don't like that.
No.
But again, this is a discussion I want to have with you guys, right? Item level's really prominent there. For me, and probably a lot of guys here who are raiders, item level doesn't mean a hell of a lot to us, or ex-raiders or whatever. Now, the community is very different. The community of World of Warcraft is hugely item level orientated. I mean, massively skewed that way. Hugely skewed that way. Do you look at that as reinforcing it, or basically accepting that's what the community has created? Do you understand what I mean by that? The community as a whole, everything. Yeah, I know we can mock about it, and I think it's funny as well. I do. I think it's quite funny. However, you guys will know if you've ever done a pug or LFD, or not LFD, you know, the pug system in game, or anything like that. It's absolutely accepting something that the community has created. Yeah? The community has created that. I mean, Gear Score was a community-created mod. You know what I mean? The community created that and was accepted wholeheartedly by a lot of the community. Yeah, it's a bit of both. It's not as easy or clear-cut to say this is ridiculous. I don't think it is. I think more people who don't know much about... I mean, for me, I don't give a shit what this number is, right? It doesn't matter to me. But for a lot of people, they're going to be asked this pretty much every single day they play World of Warcraft, right? If they're joining a pug or whatever. You all right, pal? You staying with me?
No, I was just like...
Is your headache okay?
No, I was fucking... What you were getting at then is the whole what's your gear score thing, and I was thinking about it.
Oh, right, yeah. I mean, that was a community-generated system, and was accepted wholeheartedly by everyone. They might have moaned at it and hated it, but everybody used it.
No, I get that. It's
and
just,
I got a feeling...
like it.
I've got a feeling you're going to get asked your item level a little bit more than you're going to get with RIP. Oh, we're down? Let's give it a second. Usually this dies, and then it comes back, doesn't it? Reload. Refresh.
Just going to sit back then, mate. Tend to my crops on Farmville.
Refresh. Yeah, the stream is fine, I think. I don't think it's us. I think it might be the Twitch. The Twitch doing the thing. Yeah, we're fine? Good. Okay, cool. Which is pretty good. Now, I will say, let's wait for a second. Paid freedom. Pay to win. Mine never went down, lol. Yeah, it's a Twitch thing. It happened last week, remember? We had to do that. Yeah. And everyone was saying it was already back, which is crazy. So we'll give it like 30 seconds for everyone to calm down. Tipple.
I've got a dragon there.
Toot sweet audience.
A tipple.
Toot sweet audience. Now, this is clearly unfinished. I think we're back now. Good. I think it's clearly unfinished. Like Val pointed out in the chat when he was playing alongside me, is it's not showing things like dodge. So what they've done is cut down a lot of the crap like intellect. Why would a warrior need to know his intellect? It doesn't make sense anymore. Or spell power or anything like that.
But those stats will change if you went into like pro. To show
no, at the moment it's not, but it's unfinished. It's one of those things, like the feedback is, well, I kind of do need to know my dodge. I would like to know my dodge, especially there are some characters that have things that like double your amount of dodge. It's not showing that. I need to know what I'm doubling to. So I think that needs to happen. Just things like that. So, but in general, I'm perfectly fine with this. Strength, stamina, and armor. That means gearing should be better. People should be like, well, I want more strength, stamina, and armor, right? That's what the game's telling me. Crit, haste, mastery, blah, blah, blah. The haste thing's not a big deal. I saw some people mention it, but I think it's so universal. It's not a huge talking point, honestly. I just think the actual interface is all right. I think it's okay. But yeah, the avoidance should be on there, and I'm sure it'll be added. I don't think that's anything to worry about. I don't think it's anything to complain about. It's just a case of, yeah, we need our avoidance showing, because that's kind of interesting. But I think this is pretty cool. I think this is all pretty cool. So far, there's a lot of good changes. And it seems to be, but I'm going to test it more, so don't take my word on it. There seems to be a lot of stuff to be doing at Endgame to keep you going for a long time. And where that will go mid-expansion, none of us knows. I can't really say that. But at the start of the expansion, there's going to be a shitload of stuff to do to get you started. An absolute shitload of stuff to do.
Eat a dick, you massive bell end. You're online now. You're anonymous. Eat a dick, you massive twat.
Where's the leech?
Go fuck yourself.
Where's the leech? Yeah, this is my 2-button spec with about 24 buttons.
Did you just shout rim a cat?
Yeah, I thought Nobble was near me.
Classic Nobble. That's Vanish's 5-second walk.
That's the Vanish's 5.
Look at it go!
Walk. Look at it go. There you go. That's pretty good. It's somewhere in the base game, or does it come later? It's in the base game. It is in the base game. It's available now. You can test it. We've been there. I don't want to show you it because, again, like I said, I don't want to spoil too much. But as we were riding around, there was I mean, I doubt there's an event going on right now. I'd be surprised. But again, this is the thing. More of this, Blizz, is like stuff happening that isn't like a quest tells me to go there and see it. So this was part of the event I did. This was completely random and there was stuff going on here. And this guy ended up like that. Look at his name. Can you read that? Evan O'Shivers. Evan ended up like that. There's a thing going on here.
I thought there was like a gag behind his name.
I just love his name. Evan
O'Shivers. Evan O'Shivers.
Evan O'Shivers. And so there was things going. I want more of that. Because right now the system is so efficient almost. You know, the questing system, it's like there's never a surprise when you get to somewhere. It's like, go here and stuff will happen, and then you go there and stuff happens. What I want is like that. When I turned up and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And then got involved in it. It turned out to be a really cool thing. More and more of that would be more than welcome, at least from my side. More and more of that would be absolutely welcome.
After yelling about rimming a cat, he mounts one.
I love my cat. I think he's awesome. So far looking good. Now, I will say, I haven't had a chance to play a lot of it. I got a chance on Friday to play a couple of hours, but the zones are bugged out. The quests are a little bit broken, to say the least. There are a lot of broken quests right now. So I'll jump into it during the week and see exactly as far as I can get to give a proper analysis. Right now, I went in. What I'll say is this is what happened on the stream. Is I went in with the attitude that it was looking like Tanaan was big. It was just big Tanaan jungle. And over the course of the stream while we were doing it, a lot of people, including myself, changed my minds and were saying, this actually looks really cool. This actually looks really, really good. I'll say one sad thing, though. Why aren't they using Azeroth? It really bugs me that they're not using Azeroth. It really fucking bugs me they're not doing it.
Maybe because of the overhaul that came with Cataclysm.
Yeah, maybe there's a technical reason or something. I'll tell you my biggest problem with WoD outside of the, you know, the fucking...
Is it all based on a Legion invasion?
Yeah.
So why are we going to Outland to stop a Legion invasion? I thought the whole Legion
we're
invasion
attacking
was
they were attacking the Broken Isles and pushing them back and blah blah
okay.
blah. But there's all sorts of low reasons. But my biggest problem with WoD, besides the garrisons and whatnot, right? The usual shit people talking about, is the story of WoD was that the Iron Horde was pouring through the Dark Portal to destroy Azeroth, right? He'd gone back in time and dimensions or whatever the fuck to make the Iron Horde, and they were pouring through the Dark Portal, and this was going to wreck Azeroth, right? There was an imminent danger to Azeroth. And all we had was this opening event, like we've got here. We've got an opening event in Legion as well as the Broken Isles thing and all this shit and the Broken Shore. We got that little starter event, which is fine. But over the course of WoD, every time I went to Azeroth, it was fine. I was like, why am I fighting this war again? Like, nothing ever happened in WoD in Azeroth. Nothing. But the whole idea was that there was an imminent danger, a serious fucking danger to Azeroth. And there was nothing. Nothing ever happened. Every time I went back to Orgrimmar, everyone was fine. Everything was fine. In fact, the immediate area outside the Dark Portal was fine. It's fine. I know. Yeah, I think pre-patch stuff. I think people might say that's going to happen. Like this pre-patch stuff. That's all right-ish. That's just to keep you entertained until Legion launches. That's all that stuff is. Like the pre-patch stuff is all that is. And I'm talking more about during the course of it. I want to be reminded why I'm there. Why am I going back in time and crossing dimensions and all that? Well, that's not true. I mean, they were coming back. The whole point was that was supposed to be happening. I would like to have seen something like that, right? I'd like to have seen something like that. I would like to have been reminded that there is a danger. And I never got that in WoD. I think it was very much... I don't want this expansion... I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, and it's probably a personal thing, is there might be a lot of reasons why that happened, but I would love to it... I'll tell you what it is. The artifact quests, let me put it this way. The artifact quests are really cool because Blizzard knows that they have really cool places in WoW, like, that are still cool to this day, yeah? And the artifact quests take you to those places. So you've got places like Karazhan, and you've got various world places that it sends you back to. And it's like, this is really, really cool. Because this area is fucking really cool. And it was cool then, and it's still cool now. And what I really hope is during Legion is that they take advantage of that. And they're like, let's go and do this there. Well, we have had, this is why it brings it up. We have had events like this in the past. Deathwing used to fly around and burn people alive randomly. which was always funny.
That's awesome. I didn't
Did you
know
not know that happened?
No,
Yeah,
no.
all the way leading up to...
Yeah, I was gonna do that. Bye-bye.
All the way leading up to Kata. The Kata pre-patch event was eventually Deathwing just... Where you would get a message. What was the message? It used to appear in the chat. And then suddenly you're burned alive by Deathwing. And then suddenly... the funny thing about it is you got an achievement saying killed by Deathwing. So in your guild chat, suddenly you'd see, like... If it happened, like, outside a raid where people were gathering, you just see the whole guild just get the achievement instantly. And they were all dead on the floor. Which was amazing. We had the not Khazragal, but the giant Doomlord... like Kazakh type guy who used to appear randomly and start killing everybody. And used to stomp his way through the zones. Do you remember that one? I think that was TBC. I want to say it was TBC that happened. Do you remember that? I'm pretty sure it was the Burning Crusade, where that guy, he was like, he looked like Doomlord Kazakh, but he just used to appear in a random zone and he'd just stomp his ass through it and just wipe everybody out. Cruel, that was his name. Yeah, Cruel. Or Cruel, I guess was the name they were going for. The idea that was they were stuck at Draenor during WoD, but they can't make that in game. Yeah.
Say that again. Sorry, I missed that.
The idea was that we closed the dark portal and stuff. So I guess from a lore perspective, that makes sense. It still kind of sucked because the idea, you know what I mean? Let me say that they probably covered their ass in the lore. That's perfectly fine. And I'm just talking shit. But still, personally, I would have liked to have been reminded that there's an imminent danger to our old world. And this is why we're doing all this, right?
Yeah.
I think that would have been more interesting than just being sort of trapped in Draenor. But my own personal thing. And considering the artifact quest did take us to these old zones, I was really hoping they did stuff like that. Let's go back to certain places. Sense. I would have liked, and this world quest thing seems like really good for it, especially if you're doing archaeology. You know, you got something to do with the night elves and stuff like that. I really like that. But yeah, the pre-patch stuff's generally just to keep you sort of entertained and get you hyped about Legion. That's all that stuff's generally for.
I'm still excited for it, even with all the fucking ups and downs. I'm still excited for the
What are
content.
the downs for you? I would love that. Let's do this before we go for a quick break. We've been talking for a while.
When I say downs, I don't basically mean from my perspective. I see just publicity, articles.
That's what's difficult.
Content.
Right now. It is.
That's what I mean, though. From what I've seen, though, from the actual content, is stuff that I look for that caters for me. I don't look for the negatives, because you focus on the negatives and your diminishment of enjoyment is going to happen a lot quicker than you want. But you look for things you think, that looks really cool, and you'll remember it to go and try it out, even if it's not something that you're going to do on your main. But you'll look at it and think, yeah, okay, that looks cool. That looks cool. I like that. That's a cool little system. That's a nice little change.
Ooh, okay.
That's a quality looking armor set.
Yeah, I mean, we're still talking stuff that might come later. So, this is breaking news. Breaking news, just released, is the Legion Order Hall upgrade system. Okay, let's read this together and we'll see if we can gather some thoughts. In Legion, your Order Hall has a selection of upgrades that you can unlock and help you and your followers. Not unexpected. I know some people thought they were going to abandon the garrison system completely. You're crazy. They spent years developing that technology. It didn't work, so now they're going to try and fix it. That's how it works generally. Each tier must be unlocked before you can access the next one. That makes sense. Switching choices requires the full time and cost that the initial research did. Currently, each class has access to different sets of upgrades, but many of the effects are the same. Okay, so it'll be more personalized to mages. So you might get one as a demon hunter or whatever.
Right.
I'll get one as a warrior, but it'll be the same thing, but have a different name. Mine will be like fucking way cooler than the demon hunter one.
Doubt it, mate. You're a dickhead.
All classes have an identical effect for their final tier, granting them the ability to equip another one of the legendary items coming in Legion, confirming that you are expected to get
Show the screen.
legendaries.
Show the screen.
There's nothing to show at the minute. I'm just reading the notes. So I was just preparing you for the inevitable picture that's about to come up on the screen, but I'll bring it up now. Which one was it? Is it this one? No. Let me do this.
Tonight on Miami Vice.
Tonight.
Crockett gets the boss a coffee.
Okay, so all classes have an identical effect. Yeah, I'm not surprised by this at all. I think it was crazy that people thought they weren't going to be expecting you to pretty much get the legendary items, considering they said that your followers will aid you in the seeking out of one. That was always... I mean, are we going to go into the legendary discussion tonight? No. No, we're not. So we've got a little picture here. Unleash the might of Dalaran to instantly complete a world quest on your map. That's not bad, so you only have to do 3 out of the 4 that we just shown then. So that'll make it easier as time goes on. Okay. Because, I mean, that's a fair shout for me. Because as time goes on, you don't want to be doing them all, do you? And they want to keep them interesting. So they've got a time limit on it, which is everything we were asking for in the garrisons. I think a lot of people forgot that one of the initial big problems with the garrisons is that they required you to keep going back every couple of hours.
Yeah.
And I think we asked for that like mid game was like, can you just make it like 2-day quests so I don't feel like I have to be in my garrison all the time? So we're finally getting that. They did try out the shipyard, but implemented it extremely badly, which is a shame. Is that it? Is that all we have here?
What's that demon hunter stuff?
This is just talent changes, which is a huge amount again, which means I'll get to do.
I do like the fact that I just caught wind of a demon hunter talent called Well Prepared.
Yeah.
See, let me tell you. Let me give you a little backstory on that. See, Illidan was a demon hunter, right?
Yep.
And his catchphrase was,
"You're not prepared.
You are not prepared."
That's right.
Yeah?
That's right.
That's cash.
I'm not reading.
That's cash. Well prepared.
I'm not
demon
reading
hunters,
all
mate.
the talent changes. You can read them yourselves. They changed.
I can't read.
It's not talent changes though. Let's have a look. Oh, these are all the thingies. I'm wrong. You are correct. Daddy will accept. Okay, so oh god, yeah, I'm totally not reading all of these considering are they supposed to be really similar? Yeah, they're supposed to be really similar, so let's give ourselves a real idea. Okay, so Death's Boon increased the chance for quest rewards to get a rare epic bonus upgrade.
Are you going to read all these?
No, I'm not. I'm going to read like 2.
Oh, okay.
I'm not reading all of them. Increase the mission success chance for every ghoul or geist on the mission. Sure. Increase success chance with the hazards. Increase the maximum number of Eben Knights and Eben Champions you can recruit for 2 to 4. This is an interesting thing. That's tied to Suramar, or maybe I'm wrong on that. Suramar, you can actually recruit NPCs to come along with you for the quests. Newly recruited ghouls become geists, which have endless horde.
More like Death's Poon.
Which increased the success chance of missions by 40%. I mean, this is all tied to getting the... This is all tied to your garrison campaign, from what I can see here.
Yeah, I noticed that. Why do you call it Eben?
What's wrong with that?
It's Eben.
Okay. Newly recruited Eben Knights become Eben champions.
Oh, you savage bastard.
The funny thing is, the next line has that word in it
Fucking
5 times.
Do you want a mimosa, you classy bitch?
Yeah, you want to stroke my balls? Newly recruited Eben Knights become Eben Champions, which add Champion of the Eben Order. Eben Champions have a spec. Ooh. And can counter bosses. Okay. Grants access to the Dread Steed Hitching Post, allowing you to summon a death charge, which allows you to perform mounted combat for a short duration. Similar to what we had in Nagrand then. A chance for a ghoul or geist to be recruited whenever you recruit an Eben Knight or an Eben Champion. Call down a Frostworm to instantly complete a world quest. Yep. You can place a work order for champion armaments and equipment, and increase the number of legendary items you can equip by 1. So yeah, that's down to that single player portion, which is the garrison campaign, realistically, which is a thing. But yeah, I mean, it's not. I'm not surprised to basically see a confirmation that we will be expecting to get the legendaries. I mean, I don't think that was people like it's going to be like a 1 in a million drop chance. But it's really not. It's really not. They want you to get them. They were pretty clear about that. They want you to get that. Garrison 2.0 confirmed. Well, apparently the final thing is the legendaries. Will they do anything after that? I don't know. But what we have seen, for those who want to compare it to the garrison and jump on a little argue about that, I think from what I've seen, and all I can say is it might turn into Garrison 2.0. Might do. We don't know yet. It's a bit early to get angry. We're all testing it. All the YouTubers are testing it out. So far, it's not. So far, it is not. And basically, it's like your legendary quest. I think it's the way of doing it. Like the legendary quest is now converted into this instead of being some sort of really tedious. This is how I would describe it. It's the legendary quest changed from being the tedious collect the fucking stones in LFR, whatever a lot of people were doing, and they've changed it all over to the garrison campaign, which is going to lead towards that. Will it be required? Yes. Yes, it's going to be required. No one's going to lie about that. Absolutely. So that's the way they're going to do it. That's the way they're going to do it. So whether you like that or not, that's down to you. I'm not surprised they're keeping the system at all. They spent so long trying to make it and just got it fucked up. The release date is August 30th. We've had that confirmed. That's when it's going to come out. A little later than I expected.
What was the...
They said early summer.
Is that what it was? Is that what the rage about it was? Because there was loads of people raging about simply the release date of it as well.
Well, is there anything Blizzard could say right now that would not result in rage?
That's what I mean, though. It's like...
No.
It's a release date, and I assumed way back when that the release date would be September. But then it came up like 30th of August, and I was just like, right, okay. That was my reaction. Oh, cool. Okay. But like, just the tirades of 30th of fucking August.
It's hard to sift through
I've
what's
gotta
good
wait.
feedback at the moment. It
Oh
really is
my
hard.
god.
It's difficult. It's difficult to sift through what's good feedback.
But it's not
It will be tedious. Collect the resources. I don't think so. I mean, we've already seen there that there's a lot of time between doing the bigger upgrades, the important ones, and because if you're playing the game, I can tell you that just playing the game and doing pretty much anything in the game, unless you're literally not playing the game, you get quite a lot of garrison resources. I've got to call them garrison resources, essentially what they are. You tend to get a lot of them anyway, and that's why they've put these time gates on them, so you shouldn't feel the need to go out and collect them all. I think they don't want people to feel that way. They want you to play... What I can gather is this is the idea. This stuff still kind of exists, but they're putting it in a way is you should play the content that you're going to play anyway, and you will get this stuff by proxy. Yeah? That's what they're saying. It's like, if you... Like the world quest things like that. If you want to mine, if you want to pet battle, if you want to do any of that stuff, if that's what you want to do, that's what you can go and do. And they've kind of time blocked the other stuff. So just playing the game and doing what you want to do should give you the resources to continue on your journey. That's what they're trying to achieve. Will they hit that? It's a difficult balance. There'll be people who will, like, upgrade their fucking order hall and see they need 25,000 fucking order resources or whatever, and feel the need to go and get that on the day. That feels like it's supposed to be you. That's on you, not on the game. The game has said, look, it's got to be like 4 or 5 days until you can get the next one. So, you know, you don't need to be going and doing that. So I think that's generally what they're aiming for, which I think is about the best way they can do it. I mean, these systems are still in there, and then it's not making you go and do anything like you need to go and grind this out real quick, because they're stopping you from doing that. It doesn't feel like you'll need to be in your order hall a lot, but that could change. I think that's fine. What was the last thing? Demon Hunter Tier 19.
Ooh.
Do you want to see this?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, no, I just saw something that I want to read later on. Class change. Well, balance changes for characters in Overwatch. I just saw that highlight then. Demon Hunter change.
So you guys can confirm, deny. Is this the one you want me to look at or not? Whoosh.
I still don't like it.
Yeah, neither do I. It doesn't look that good to me. It still doesn't look that good.
I think as soon as I cap my Demon Hunter and getting raid ready, the first thing I'm doing is capping my Rogue because I want that fucking first tier armor. That looks like the Reaper set.
Nope, that's not
delicious. Delicious.
Anybody tweeted me? Someone did tweet me.
Yes, no Ghostblade.
I'll tell you what. If anybody wants to tweet me the correct link, we'll take our quick break now. And then we'll come back and we'll have drama. But if someone wants to just tweet me the link, we'll have a look at it when we go back. Okay? How good's that? Is that easy enough? I think that sounds pretty fair.
Downtown last.
Excellent. Let's have a quick break and then we'll go back to... We'll do some drama and have some fun. All right? Back in a minute.